If you could count us in at the end.
But you're already live.
God
Yeah,
damn it.
it's too late again. It's fine. Whatever.
Alright, so hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 6 of AHGL. I am Pulse, I'm joined by Spuddington, and we have EA versus Factset. We have EA on the blue team and then Factset on the purple team, which will be the right hand side. So we already have the bands and the picks coming out here. We're still in the banning process, and we will have Kat, Fiddlesticks, Shen, Xinjiao, and Darius.
Okay, well, that's some uncommon bans actually. You don't normally expect to see Darius banned in a 5-on-5 game like that, because she really you see it a lot in solo queue because she preys on people who aren't ready to coordinate against her. But in this event, she's still a very strong character. I can definitely see why. Very strong in AoE, very strong in that kind of pick focused team. Also, Fiddlesticks ban. Now that's a really unconventional ban, actually.
Yeah, it's quite funky.
I mean, I've actually, full disclosure here, I've been away for the last week skiing with no internet at all, so I have no idea if the metagame has changed or something.
Yeah, it has not shifted that much, Wellington. Definitely not with Fiddlesticks coming into it, at any rate.
Yeah, I mean, Fiddlesticks, he can sort of work middle, and he can sort of work jungle, and he can sort of work support. But he never really seems to excel in any of those particular roles unless he gets off the ground early. Sucks in mid because he can't farm very well. His auto attack is awful, and his late wave pushing is poor. Kind of as a support, he provides a lot of CC, but he doesn't do anything else, and his scaling into the late game is pretty poor. And as a jungle, it's too much gold to really get the items that he needs rolling. He needs that Zhonya's and he needs that Rabadon's fairly fast. But maybe there's a particular targeted ban going down there. I don't know.
Yeah, we could have like a Fiddlesticks Savant on the enemy team being Factset. Yeah, it was banned by EA. So yeah, there's a couple of picks coming out here, and the rest of the bans were fairly standard. Xinjiao, I can kind of understand why if he gets off the ground and starts snowballing, he can be quite nasty. But the first pick will be a Mumu looking for the teamfight presence from Factset, and immediately going into that Taric and MF. So be a very aggressive bot lane, and I've got a lot of early game damage. And Taric, you really picked Taric for that laning phase, so yeah, maybe looking to end this fairly early.
Yeah, it might also be a tactical pick, taking MF out, because if your opponents take a Mumu, their best option for an AoE focused AD carry is typically going to be Misfortune. So if you then pick that away from them, that leaves them with less good options. I mean, they can still take some like Graves, some like Ezreal, hello Graves. But yeah, so looking like they're going to be going for quite an AoE focused lane setup there. I mean, Thresh, I'm not really sure where he fits in composition talk. He's got a lot of CC, but he doesn't really have a particular focus in it. It's not really all AoE or all a single target. He's kind of got a mixture of everything.
Yeah, but the main thing with Thresh is the fact that you can make plays with Thresh. That Lantern is absolutely amazing, and he has the type of kit where in a sort of 5v5 scenario, he can be amazing. Definitely like solo queue and when you're in small groups of people, he's not as effective, but when you have a coordinated team behind Thresh, you can get some really nice things done. So the next couple of picks will be Jace and Jarvan, and that will be with the Taric and MF. So Jace is pretty strong as a laner along with Jarvan. Jarvan probably going to be in the jungle. He likes to be fairly gank heavy, and his ultimate, of course, is absolutely amazing. Not quite an AoE composition, not quite a poke composition. It's not really, can't really see it shaping up as anything too much at the moment. Seems fairly high mobility, and yes, with Jade's acceleration gate, Misfortune is naturally quite fast with her passive. So yeah, shaping up into an interesting composition at the moment.
Yeah, I was just going to go back and mention that having that Thresh coupled with a Mumu actually gives him some seriously scary ganks, especially once he hit level 6. I mean, that bot lane, the effective distance he'll be covering, it's like a 1,200 gap closer, something like that. That's an enormous range to then, have a massive AoE stun landing down. And it could, if it goes to plan, it could well land sort of a double kill every time a movement bot comes up, and that's super scary to be up against, especially when it's coupled with a really bursty AD carry like Graves.
Yeah, and definitely in teamfight scenarios as well, they basically have two opportunities to engage. And Mumu lands Badge Toss, great, ultimate goes in. And then if Resh lands his Q as well, he can bring himself in, Lantern goes down, and Mumu just right in the middle of them. So yeah, already great synergy right there for those teamfight scenarios, and definitely those ganks down the bottom. Also came to the conclusion the other day that a team mode must be about 100 units long. Because if it's 50 units long, then that wouldn't make sense, because an AD carrier's range would be enormous. So, yeah.
I honestly do not know, but it's starting to shape up actually that composition now. What we're seeing is essentially three very bruiserish kind of almost off carries. So you've got Graves who scales pretty well, but he's not. He's more of that mid-game, bursty kind of AD carry, shorter range but beefier. And that couples actually really well with having huge lockdown from Thresh and Amumu, and then you just have these three Irelia, Graves, Rise, beefy, high damage targets running straight in and just going to town basically on whoever they feel like. It's a nice composition to be running.
Yeah, the teamfight presence is really strong, and they only really get stronger late game. Tarek doesn't have as much, but of course his source of shred with his shatter will be really nice for Irelia and Misfortune, especially with that ultimate as well. So yeah, looking for those team fights mainly with that composition. And
oh dear,
someone has just met up. Because Akali was the last pick for one of the teams, I've already forgotten. And right now we're in this awkward position where we're probably going to be remaking.
Someone's got to quit. There's no way around it. Yeah. It's always a little bit awkward when that happens. You just click, you're like, okay, I want to pick my character. That is Akali. Uh-oh. Oops, it's in draft mode.
Blow clap.
Blow clap indeed. So, I wouldn't be wrong to say it's not the first time it's ever happened, but it's a little bit awkward every time it does.
But it is generally hilarious, so, it's alright. So, not like Akali coming into that composition. If I had the memory span longer than a goldfish, then I would be able to tell you the rest of it and how it slots in with the rest of the team. But Akali, of course, is an assassin, and I've seen a lot of Akali recently, especially with that change to a passive, now activate immediately off the bat with any E. So, what? That's interesting. I don't know whether you're seeing banned champions all on one side, but...
That is interesting.
Purple team gets 6 bans.
Yep, blue team gets none. It's okay because they already did it. So, wait, they banned Fiddlesticks. Oh, wait, no, they actually banned Fiddlesticks.
Yes,
that confused me for a second. They're going to do it twice. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But yeah, I remember from the team composition, my memory also being that of Goldfish. We've got Jace and Jarvan the Thor, as well as Akali. So it's looking like a very kind of aggressive diving team. Like they may be looking to just take out one person very, very quickly. But I'm not sure how well that will fare when you've got three beefy kind of semi-carries that they're going to be up against with that Graves and that Irelia. But we'll be seeing Jace, Jarvan, Bay4, and then Tarek. That's it.
Yeah. Well, they're going to have to play it really, really well because they have to get the Akali past the front line, which is incredibly, as you pointed out, beefy, and the Jarlander will allow them to do that. I mean, the Cataclysm goes down basically disrupting the team fight, so that's what Akali thrives in. And you have the Misfortune Ultimate as well. Wait a minute. Wait. Which team? What? Which team was Akali on? It was on EA, right?
Yes.
Yes, because Fresh was with a move.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
That makes sense, right? Okay.
It does.
Okay.
Okay.
And now we're learning to count. Wait. So, yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting composition, but
yeah, it is.
I think I definitely prefer having that real proper setup. It just seems like it's going to be a bit squishy having Jace as well as Akali as the solo laners there.
Yeah, and the laning phase is going to be a little bit dodgy as well. Mind you, Jace against Irelia, Jace will be doing pretty well. And Akali against Ryze, Ryze will probably win that for, well, the early part, and then Jarvan should maybe be able to do something there. I mean, their bottom lane's pretty competent. They are against Fresh and Graves though, so yeah, laning phase-wise, they're fairly even, but definitely when it gets into those team fights, I'm liking Factset's team setup quite a lot. And Jace definitely sort of like an off tank, but not quite. He's more of a damage dealer than anything, and Jarvan will probably be soaking up the damage. So I don't know if they have enough really in their team composition to really allow an Akali to come into it.
It's going to be interesting. There might be enough setup though. They do have that capability to pick up one person at a time and do a lot of damage very quickly. I mean, they have that Taric setup, they have that Jarvan setup. Akali can come from nowhere with a gunblade. Jace can jump on someone with to the skies and knock them back. They do have a lot of that just jump on you, burst you down, look for someone else. In a straight up 5v5 though, I just do not see them comparing.
Yeah. So we have like 2 minutes 30. We should probably take a look at some of the rune pages. Masteries did this last week, so we are basically pros at this now. So is there anyone you'd like to look at? I'm thinking Akali actually.
Yeah, I imagine now that Akali's passive has been changed, that most people will just switch straight to AP. But it's actually
movement speed.
Movement speed. It does make a certain amount of sense. Getting into the right place at the right time as Akali is difficult. And actually, thinking about it, I think we might see Akali go top and Jace go mid, because Akali versus Irelia is actually a very strong lane for Akali. Having that shroud means you can't have the auto attacks from Kitten style landing on her. And by the time Irelia has gone back to pick up a pink ward, it's generally swung in the favor of Akali, although by using Twilight Shroud aggressively like that, it does open you up for ganks. But they're against a Mumu, whose ganks are only okay. So that, I wouldn't be at all surprised if we did see that setup there. And obviously Jace is probably going to win out against Ryze if he's in a straight-up engagement early on. I mean, he's just going to jump right on and do a lot of damage very quickly, and Ryze is going to be able to get off, what, maybe a QWQ combo, and also run himself much more out of mana than Jace. We will see, though.
Yeah, and apparently EA really likes movement speed because basically everyone's running apart from Taric and Jarvan, so they have these lanes, even Misfortune. So you have that passive and they're looking to be extremely mobile, so that's definitely going to play in for them. And maybe in that laning phase, as you talked about with that swap up, if they start just moving around, roaming, looking for those free-man invades, they can definitely pull ahead very, very early. As a Mumu was quite weak early on in the jungle. They could maybe even go for that invade. Their level 1 is really, really nice. However, they do have Ryze and Graves stopping them, especially with Fresh as well. He's got a lot of disruption. So it's interesting, but I think they might be able to push an early game advantage. And of course, if they do that, then Akali's going to get off the ground, and that's exactly what they want for those team fights.
Yeah, having all those people with the movement speed means that it really synergizes with the way they're planning to move around the map. If they're looking for that pick on the one person who's moving between lanes, having that extra movement speed on everyone is actually really, really, really strong. Just lets you get to where they are either before them or by predicting them at the same time, and that just aids with that whole lockdown plan. Also, they have a lot of Studio Rumble quintessences, and I didn't even know those even existed.
Game hacks.
I know. Wait, Studio Rumble? Studio is a caster. He plays Rumble. But
Yes.
2011. I don't think he casted back in 2011. I have no idea. All-Star Akali. Whoa. This is some ancient stuff right here.
It is quite old.
But then again, also some relatively new things. Warring Kingdom Jarvan 4. Debonair Jace.
Mixing it up.
Yeah.
I would like to get back into the game because Ben has crashed. And it does like doing this when I go onto a different server.
Yes, well, I had the awkward moment where 2 dogs entered my room. Fortunately, we were at the time on quite a large monologue, so I was able to just mute my microphone. And now one of them has settled on my bed, and the cat is on my lap.
Excellent.
Yep, that is the animal status currently.
Yeah, just basically set up a webcam and call it the Discovery Channel with Spuddington.
Yeah, I'm afraid you'd then have to see me. That's more of an issue.
You could aim it basically at the cat.
Well, not if the cat is sitting, like, on me.
Right.
In my lap.
It would be in your crotch area.
Yeah,
so.
that would be, then I'd just be pointing a camera at my crotch, and that feels like it's slightly,
Do not make any sudden movements.
do not look too excited. No, professionals. So we're right at the end of the game.
Okay.
Are you back in yet, by the way?
Yeah, we are currently summoning. We are not currently in the game, as such.
Probably should be looking at some of the spells, actually, thinking about it.
We could do. I mean, there's nothing out of the ordinary, really, apart from Rise's teleport, but again, he can probably sustain himself in lane to make that worth it. And of course, teleport does really scale nicely into that late game. The main problem with teleport against a lane which can kill you is if they have Ignite, then you're going to probably lose those trades, or you have a 90% chance of losing those trades unless you seriously outplay them. But however, the teleport really will allow you to make some plays over the map, look for those teleport ganks, and can be highly, highly disruptive. And it looks like they may be going for this invade. We do have EA looking to fan out. Or no, in fact, he's just going to put a ward right up his own blue buff, and he might be moving around that bottom jungle.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did go for this invade here. They have a pretty strong level 1 fight here. They have a lot of burst damage, and they also have that Tarek stun to set people up. It looks like they're going to be circling around, going down, taking the bottom route. Ward came in. They actually knew. It's when you see a team composition like that has all that level 1 burst, that has that level 1 crowd control, putting out some wards in the river, in fact from both directions in the river, can be an absolute lifesaver, can stop having your Amumu invaded. And obviously Amumu doesn't want to be invaded. He is not a very strong level 1 jungler without blue buff. He kind of grows out of it, but yeah, right now he's going to be wanting that, and it looks like those wards have kind of caused everyone to give up, or maybe not.
They're looping around. They don't actually know this ward is here, so they might be going for this invade. They know they're going to be there. Jace has definitely gone back, and that's the play that Purple is going to know has happened. They've seen them coming in. It's going to be 5 versus 4. This could be really, really nasty for EA, as we do have a Mumu round the side. They will have expected the top laner to go back. They are looking to go into the push. We have level 1 team fight opening up. Kari getting nuked out. Exhausted and Ignite takes on the first blood straight onto a Mumu. He's tanking a lot of damage, however. He will be backing off. Meanwhile, Tyrant's being fabulous. Hitting a Mumu in the face. He will be backing off and he should be good to go. But they are looking to pursue this. They don't have any cooldowns. Irelia does have the Equilibrium Strike. Flash into the Equilibrium Strike. Cleanse goes down, saving him momentarily. And Jarvan getting into the creep. We have the Root Prison coming down, dragged back by Fresh. An auto attack will finish it off for Suja.
Yeah, 2 for 0 trade when they were the aggressors. That is effectively the risk in invading. Jace is going to have a little bit of an experience advantage over Aurelia, and also a massive sustain advantage. Look at all those health potions. So right now, the only way they can take an advantage from that failed invade is to have Jace really, really bully Aurelia around. It has slowed Amumu down. They know he's going to have to have gone back with the amount of health he had, and they know he's only now going to be picking up this blue buff. So what can they do? He can just get really, really aggressive right now. It's going to be a bit difficult though, because Aurelia is the definition of a passive laner. She stands back, she waits for you to get aggressive, then she equilibrium strikes you, then she backs down. Jace may not be able to really do anything. She's just going to farm under the tower, I think, for a while.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But meanwhile, mid, we will have that Rise having 1 kill. So he is going to be able to output more damage, more harass. He's gone back and picked up the Fairy Charm as well. Wait, has he gone back and picked up Pen? No, he has not. So he still has a lot of gold to go back to, and he'll probably be going into a tier fairly soon. And yeah, so they have started this game off fairly well, but of course they need to do something about Jace. Irelia is really good at farming under turret, as you've mentioned, because of that Blade Search. So I see Jarvan may be trying to get some stuff done. He is of course behind, but he does have a blue buff to go to as well.
Yeah, having Akali be behind in a lane like this I really think could actually be bad for her, because although she has got 8 trillion health potions, and although Rise is running out of mana at the moment, so he's probably going to want to go back relatively shortly, it's difficult for Akali to farm a large amount of health. She can farm a bit with her Q, but without getting in range of Rise's damage, it's hard for her to really get that kind of super farm state that she really likes to be in. Because Akali, essentially her gimmick, in a way, is her ability to jump on someone, a carry, and just obliterate them, and then jump on someone else as well. If she doesn't get fed, she's going to have a heck of a time trying to do that. I mean, she can still contribute damage, obviously. She still has quite a lot of damage. And for a burst mage, Akali's sustained damage is actually quite high. But she's not
Meanwhile,
much.
Boston, they are opening up on Graves. They have forced him back, however. I think maybe Misfortune could have been slightly more aggressive, but doesn't have Ignites, of course. Neither summons were up. So they are bullying him around down the bottom, though. And they are both level 4 to level 3 and 2.
Yeah, it's 20 CS to 32, and actually Misfortune came into lane with a little bit less sustain than she should have done, because she lost some health in that level 1 fight. So possibly outplaying them here, or possibly this is kind of a side effect of having such a great support early game like Carrick. Because she could take the Flask start, I mean, Graves went for this really aggressive longsword build, and Misfortune went for Flask. If Graves has gone for this longsword, he wants to be getting kills early, but if he can't make that happen, he's going to fall behind on sustain, and Tarek is a really great offensive and defensive support. I mean, he gives level 2 and an extra 15 armor. That's already 3 clock armor. And with Thresh going in the bottom here, landing the knockback, he's going to be running away with a bit less health though. Anyway, Misfortune.
Jarvan, however, it may be looking for the side to happen. They are pushing this lane in, and Thresh has gone back, so it's a 3v1 situation underneath the turret. Graves will want to be staying to try and mop up some of this farm, but even 2 versus 1, this is a dicey place to be.
I think he might smell something off here.
Yeah. We'll be backing off. No, Jarvan wants to loop all the way around, and I think maybe the bot lane was a bit too aggressive there, where Jarvan might be able to loop around if they had just played a little more defensive. But Graves definitely smells things.
Yeah, there's always that worry. I mean, to be fair, if he'd gotten in range of a Tarek stun, they probably could have killed him without Jarvan being there. So I wonder, maybe actually, Tarek did have flash. He might have been able to just go for it. I don't know. But it would have been a very confident play to make. Still, Rise picked up his tier. He's still got 1,000 gold, so he's picking up boots, probably another Sapphire Crystal as well. Actually a null magic mantle. I guess he's frightened of that level 6 burst on Akali, who's actually not chewed through that many pots and is actually farming fairly well. Better than Rise.
Yeah, got 9 health potions at this stage in the game, so she's pretty sustained, and she hasn't really been shut down, which is kind of odd considering Rise had that, of course, had that kill. Now picked up a couple more items as well that tier will be contributing to his damage. But really they need to start doing something about Akali, because Akali will start destroying their carries. And they're really looking for this teamfight presence. They have that movement, they have this teamfight set up. But if they have that Akali, and then all Jarvan really needs to do is be disruptive, plop down that ultimate in a really nasty place, maybe in a jungle teamfight, and Akali can just more sweep the rest of the carries up. So they need to be quite careful. Of course, Akali may be looking for those roaming ganks now as well. And he's quite fast, has in fact just picked up the Sorcerer's Boot, so he's got the extra movement, so he's got the movement speed quintessences as well, and could see some more action in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, you can actually see all these blue wards all over the map right now. There is, and actually just put down another one, but they have a lot more map vision, and if anyone's going to be going roaming, essentially the team with more map vision comes out on top, and effectively also the team with more movement speed. So they definitely do have the power to make something happen. That being said though, teleport is up on Rise, which is the slight check in that plan, because anytime they go for that gank, there's that danger Rise will come running out of the bush where there's a ward or up a minion, something like that, which can really stymie any aggression for fear of losing the fight as a result. We are seeing Akali running down now.
Yeah, so Rise is going to have to be fast because Graves is fairly low, and that is within burst range of Akali. They are backing off, however, and maybe Akali just looking for the tower dive. They are looking to be quite aggressive. Double up goes in as well. Are fairly extended. I'm not entirely sure they saw Akali there, actually.
I don't think they did, but
Yeah.
they definitely have smelled a rat. Rise has, called that missing. Pink ward goes down. Well, a little bit surprised he only had a pink ward. So that's going to actually cost them a pink ward, which might actually make the Akali roaming worthwhile here, in spite of the losses on experience. And the stun goes down, but not coming in as well. But has gone down so fast, and I think Amumu whiffed his bandage toss there.
Yeah, he did indeed. That will stop them from actually following up. Right, and actually come down. And I guess if Amumu had landed that stun with the advantage toss, then he would have been able to teleport onto them. But in that situation, they would have just literally been able to walk away. There's no ward behind them either. So, again, not too much they can do. Meanwhile, on top, Irani is fairly confident against Jace pulling him around. And that's fairly surprising. Jace should win out against Irelia, purely because To the Skies and then Thundering Blow is a really nice trading tool. And Irelia can't really do anything about that unless she's, of course, lower HP and then Equilibrium Strike goes down, but he's being pushed back to his turret.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this isn't a matchup I've really seen since Season 2. For some reason, Jace seems to fall off the planet sometimes randomly, and then everyone remembers about him again like a few weeks later, and it's like, oh wait, actually he's really, really strong still. But yeah, I haven't played the matchup recently myself. I stopped playing Irelia. I've never played Jade. I was awful at him. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised at how well it seems to be going for her. You'd think every time she went in to do damage with hit end style, he'd knock her back, and you'd think every time she went into hit end style, he would hit her with a shock blast from the acceleration gate as well, which is quite a lot of damage. And he is actually maxing that shock blast, which I think is the way typically done now, as opposed to Thundering Blow.
We do have the job looking for the gang. Aspen goes down immediately into the flash. Black and Thrash about 1 centimeter. They should be able to pick up this kill. They're switching into that Mercury Cannon and pick up the kill with one more auto attack. Meanwhile, mid, Akali getting aggressive on Rise, but Rise is now going ahead and backing off. So that's another kill. It's now up to 2-2. They are reclaiming some of these kills, and they are in quite a good position. So I guess the passivity did force Irelia forward and get her to the point where she basically got comfortable and John went for the gang. But again, as you pointed out, I do feel that Jade probably should be winning harder, but he's still 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he could be winning harder, but he's not winning bad.
We do have the Lantern going in, Dragon Ball popping down the ultimate, also coming in from Misfortune as well, Rise teleporting down into that fray. However, Grace has already fallen, double shield for Akali, picking up a quick kill on Thresh. He will be chasing him back onto that turret, and with the reset on the ultimate as well, flash from Biggie Buns, and a little more damage on it to Rise.
Yeah.
So quite an aggressive flash from Misfortune.
Yeah, if she'd actually, I think she just slightly misjudged it, maybe 50 units below where she, yeah, well, okay, whatever. I was never involved in the team measurement system anyway, and Thresh turned invisible. Oh, there he is. But yeah, I think she was just an inch out of range for that double up that would have probably finished off the move. So she ended up looking a little bit foolish, but we've all done that, I think.
Indeed, and I don't know how you can't contribute to the team measurement because, well, it is official measurement. You've got to start using it. I'm the tree.
I'm not official. I am unofficial. You may refer to me as you will, but you may not refer to me as official. Because
meanwhile, in mid, we do have the trade going down, and Rising going back in. Carly going to pick up on that fact and will be doing some more damage. And she's one more stack of ultimates, so yeah, Rise has to be very careful. He's looking quite juicy.
Yeah, it's a very scary spot to be in, but he does have Pink Ward down, so he can always bind her and run away very, very fast. Flash is down at the moment though, so maybe not being able to get out in time. Why is he choosing to go back?
Indeed. So right now we are 4-2. Akali getting to a very scary stage. She's got the Sorcerer's Shoot and the Haunting Guide, so really looking for that mid-game orientated build. And that's really what they need actually, because we will have Factset looking to go for that mid-game team fight, and Akali does need to be strong in that scenario. We do have Jace initiating onto Irelia, Jarvan looking for that lane gank as well. They know
One of the
what's
nice
up.
things. Actually, Reddit using bait search there. Jarvan jumping in with the ultimate. Jace slowly moving his way around. Suddenly low goes down, knocking it back a bit. Jarvan doing quite a lot of damage. Phage is proccing, but she's really, really tanky, and he's just not going to go down in a hurry. We've actually got Jarvan going under the tower, though. Ignite has gone down. She's trying for that stun. She can't quite seem to kill Irelia. Die!
The horrible thing with Irelia is that she just carries on going. Hit and style, just ridiculous amounts of sustain. It's more than you really expect. And yeah, as a result of having Giant Spell and Change Vestige is rather tanky against 2 AD damage dealers.
It is true. It's just, it throws you off just how hard she wants to kill that. Going for that early Sunfire Cape, and that is kind of the thing with Irelia. Her gimmick, essentially, as a character, is that she can build pure tank and still do significant damage.
Yeah.
So she doesn't need any items, and she'll still be a significant damage threat, because hit and start, 75 true damage on hit is going to hurt, no matter what you do.
Yeah, and the problem that has always been Irelia is just the fact that she has a back closer, blade surge, and true damage, which is horrible. I doubt they're ever going to buff her, ever. I mean, she's not in the state of like complete OPness anymore, but she's definitely coming back into viability, especially when there's so many nice tank items, and there's the Sunfire Cape as well, because generally the standard build was usually get some attack speed, get like Trinity Force, and then just go Guardian Age or just set for life. But right now, she can literally just build tank, and that's probably what she needs to be doing. Amumu is quite tanky in his own right. I wouldn't be surprised if Irelia goes for some sort of damage item next. And it looks like Factset may be posturing around for that Drake attempt. They have been seen by that wood, however. And Irelia's not heading down either, probably just trying to keep Jace up there.
Actually getting aggressive on Jace, doing a bit of damage. Hit and Star goes down, popping the ultimate. He's forced to back out. She actually now has a significant amount of lane dominance here and could just push this out to head down to that dragon attempt. Jace would not be as strong in the current situation.
And meanwhile, mid-range practice is going down onto Dragon Balls. We will have more damage coming on to Jarvan, but he should be good to go. He has pushed them back though, and they could make a strong push onto this mid turret. There's not very much they can do with their lane still being bot farming. They should be able to pick up this. Jarvan's on about 40% HP. Gasty is there, however. And he does do quite a lot nicely into the curse of Satlami as well. Looking to follow with more damage back over the wall, and Jarvan is just left by himself. Mumu will be picked up by a nice ultimate coming in from Gasly, ultimate coming in from the side from Misfortune, picking up another kill straight onto Gray's flash for keeping him alive, and now Fresh is not in a great position as a double kill comes out from Akali, and we will have a counter push, or actually the Drake.
Yeah, that's and actually, if I were them, I would have probably gone for that mid-tower, because he might have been able to pick up Graves in the process if he tried to defend it. But certainly going for that dragon makes a lot of sense. Securing that lead, keeping them now nearly 4k gold ahead, and quite a lot of that gold is focused onto Akali and Misfortune, which is quite scary because, yeah, Akali nearly 6k gold now. She is going to go back, and what could she pick up actually? 2,800 gold.
That is a lot of gold. I'm not entirely sure what she wants to be going for here. I mean, she could carry on going just raw damage, but I think she's outputting enough that she could probably just afford some sort of selfish sort of defense item.
I would guess a Rylai if she's going to go for that. Wouldn't be surprising actually. She could probably afford it. Going actually for the Gunblade though.
Damage.
Man mode. Yeah, that is going to be a very, very scary for anyone who is not a tank basically. And even if you are, kind of scary. Akali is going to be very scary. Once she actually finishes that Gunblade, she's going to tear your head off. Just so much damage comes out from an Akali with pure damage item.
Yeah,
The risk, of course, is that you get focused out. You know, if she gets locked down with a pink ward, she's probably going to die. That's all I have to say.
Okay, awesome.
I know, it was a massively important thing for me to interrupt you by saying. And actually we've got Irelia getting aggressive on Jace, but Misfortune is in the area, forced to flash out, and my cat is being noisy. Yeah,
hello, cat. How are you doing today?
How are you, cat? I'm sorry.
Cat.
Come on, there we go, cat.
And meanwhile, mid, we do have initiations around to Rise. So much damage coming on from Akali, just with her flat-out combo. She's still got 2 dashes as well. And right now, they've actually picked up the mid turret, and they picked up the Drake before as well. Not really anywhere to fight, but they want a sort of open fight. Diving a team which has a Mumu, which has Fresh, which has so many lockdowns is really, really nasty. But Joffin could probably manage it at this point, but it's probably more risky than it's really worth. It wants these sort of open fights, and or even the jungle fights actually for Akali, so they have some quite sort of clustered, maybe a bit spread out well, so she can get these picks onto those carries. And right now, they don't really need to do anything. They just need Akali to get into a team fight and kill everyone. It doesn't matter if they're in a skirmish or 5-on-5.
So long as they can keep from being focused out. That is the only risk right now from their perspective. Although Miss Fortune is also doing a lot of damage. She's gone for that very mid-game oriented build. And actually we've got Irelia not noticing her tower is going down. She side land on her ultimate goes down. So tanky! Still gonna get
fabulous.
Get Sparkle Pot. See this fabulous death, but yeah. Probably not intentional on Tarek's part, but amusing nonetheless.
Yes, it was quite good. I felt warm inside watching that kill. Good guy, Tarek. So,
I will not let this escape.
Tarek, God. So yeah. Right now, again, they really don't need to be doing too much, but as you said, the gunblades is being picked up by Akali. Run for your lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do need to keep her alive, but they haven't quite a nice team. Wait, and Jarvan's actually just looking over the wall, will be caught by Suja. Messiah just locking him down as well. And bot goes down from Fresh, but no one really to follow up, and that's quite a game-changing ultimate, team-fight changing ultimate just being used. And really, they really needed to lock Carly down. When she pops down the Shroud, of course, they could just spam AoE ultimates there, and that could be fairly effective with a Moon's ultimate being Curse of the Sad Mummy. So they might be able to do something in that regard, but it's going to be difficult. Of course, they will be popping down those pink wards. We've got a pink ward from Thresh as well as Rise, making sure that they have them on that line.
Right into Akali here. He's going to get bursted down. Barely had to use the second charge of their ultimate. That was literally Q auto RR. Dead.
Yeah.
Ow.
It's disgusting, the damage. It's just horrible, absolutely horrible. And she can split push all day. I mean, basically that's probably the best call. She's probably going to be doing a lot of damage to turrets anyway, because the magic does translate into turret damage. No one can duel her, like no one. And if they take more than 2 people away from their team fight, then they're going to be initiated on by Jarvan, who has an amazingly good initiate from that acceleration gate from Jace. So right now, Factset's options are very, very limited.
The saving grace though is they do have a very good late game team, and they also have the means to stall this out fairly well. They do have Wraith with his, AoE Q, his AoE ult, although they probably wouldn't want to use it on creeps. They do have Irelia with her ultimate, they do have Rise's ultimate. Relatively short cooldown, relatively strong wave clear abilities, which could keep them safe. And obviously you don't want to die their team. They're just far too strong, and they also have Irelia who's actually going to be really aggressive here. Jarvan coming in, captain on the race. He's going to be running away. We've got the ultimate from MF coming down. Rise gets bursted into nothing. Akali smashes in for the extra jump. Jumping back in though. Maybe he's going to be getting away on the lantern. No, he's not actually. But he did get away from. No, he's not. Red buff.
Red buff says no. Kind of interested in why you didn't click the lantern, because that would have definitely saved his life. But either way, they will be pushing down this mid turret, and there's very little they can do. And in Factset, yes, they can stall, but as we said at the start, EA has a really nice picking team. And you just saw it right then. They need to be very careful, because Fresh could be instantly gibbed by that Akali. So they are pushing down this mid turret, probably going to pick up the inhibitor as well, and in fact they're going to back off. I think they're scared of overstaying, just so a Baron call doesn't get made. But they may even go for this Drake, so honestly if they were going to stay, they probably could have picked up the inhibitor. I guess they're fairly out of mana, but right now Akali is that strong, they could just go back in.
Yeah, a little bit surprised, but it doesn't really matter at this point. They can afford to play this quite safely. at the moment, especially with that inhibitor exposed, that stalling problem is no longer nearly as significant for them. They don't have to worry about not having anywhere to sort of fight and just being stuck in that situation where the enemy team is basically just farming, because, well, there's an open Indian. They can force that and poke it down, or, you know, go for that top, or, you know. And if they can get that Indian down, that, of course, pressures all the lanes simultaneously, creates opportunities for them as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult for them to deal with it. And looks like they're going for a counter push here, though.
Yeah, they could definitely do it. Carly has arrived, and that, of course, means death. I'm kind of surprised that when EA went for that Drake, that Factset did not go straight for Baron, because they were in that position where they were fairly low, well, as low as they're probably going to get them, and the fact that they went so far away from Baron, that might have been a play that they could have perhaps made. But again, Akali, energy, she's happy to go all day, honestly. So, yeah, they need to make some sort of play. I mean, stalling really isn't an option for them anymore, because they've, well, basically taken on that inhibitor turret. That inhibitor's going to force at some point, they can't take that, and if the inhibitor goes down, then more opportunities are going to get dived. So, maybe they're going to have to wait till another inhibitor turret fight happens, and Baron has just disappeared, which is...
Yeah, that was interesting.
Okay. If you want.
Yep, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to assume it's still there because the minimap icon is still there.
Just going on to something that, as soon as it saw Tarek, it just water.
I walked past the... Oh boy, actually we've got Aurelia not going to be killed here. They took a little diversion to get a ward, and that fact sort of saved Aurelia's life there, I think.
Indeed.
But anyway, yeah. This is kind of last chance saloon here. They have to win the next team fight and avoid having the gold gap increase any further. You know, getting a pick on them at least. If they don't, they are in a situation where they're just going to keep getting forced back, and they keep getting crushed in, essentially, and they won't be able to make a win from it.
I think EA maybe won forces Baron, but Akali's going to go back. This might be the chance that Factset could get back into this, forcing this Baron. Fresh will be warding over the wall. They know they're not there. I don't think they're going to see them recalling though, and there's no possible way they could actually realise that, and Irelia's going to go back. Yep. That is unfortunate.
It's a clever play though, with respect to getting ready for that last dive, which I think is the plan, and creating that kind of doubt. You don't know, are they going for Baron or are they going back? You don't know, and if you're wrong, you lose essentially. And if you're right, and you make that guess, then you come out equal. It's that kind of awkward lose-lose situation, which is clever. And apparently we can only see Baron if there is a red team ward there.
Yes. Fresh, if you could ward that, grand.
Yeah, thanks Fresh, go on.
We just message him. So, right now, a bit of difficulties, but they don't need Baron, really. There's no need to do so. Just move to the side, but they're going to be forcing this inhibitor. A team fight will probably break out, and really, Factset have to concede this, because they can't fight in open ground, because Akali will destroy them all. They need to try and focus her down. They have the means to do so. But it's Akali. She's very slippery. Shroud goes down. It's going to be invisible for quite a while. Extra movement speed, and they will be going in for this team fight. Moon goes down. Locks a couple of them in. However, most of his own team. Bullet time goes out, maybe onto a Moon plus Sad Molly. Also coming in from Great as well. We do have a flash in from Ride, basically popping himself into the midst of 5-man strong. And that'll be a 3-for-0 trade. And they should be picking up this inhib, yeah. They may even push for them right here. And I did not mean to say extra movement speed from Akali Shroud, because that would be absurd. Which would also be very funny, but absurd.
Yeah. I think at this point, yeah, they're going to push this one here. And actually we've got Akali just giving extendo hugs. Extendo hugs, I'm sorry. Yeah. Tragic. Extendo hugs just met with a tragic accident. And that was actually extremely well played there, basically. they actually were behind in the first couple of seconds of the game, well, first couple of minutes essentially. They were against a very, very strong team composition, but they played their own team composition so well to their strengths. I don't know if they had a proper 5-on-5 in the first, 10 minutes of the game. They really snowballed in all the fights, picking up people for free, and just making really good calls about where their opponents were going to be and why. And it really paid off.
Yeah, there was really good decision making, and I think that's probably the main thing to point out. And of course, big plays from McCartney.
Yeah. But anyway, game that was, who was that again? That was
Who have we been cast for the last hour? That was EA versus Factset. That was EA blue team, and that of course being on purple team. So I'm not sure I'm casting another game after this because I know Red Baron messages asking maybe for an IGN game to happen, so that could be a thing.
I think that is confirmed actually now at this point. 12:15 PST. It's apparently
12:15 PST. All right, what does that translate into English time? That's 8:15. That's in 15 minutes.
An hour. Yeah. In 15 minutes,
20.
there will be another game on this channel. For those people who like our casting.
But there's very few of you because
Actually, we're really good at this.
Yeah. Anyway, we could plug, but we'll probably be plugging later anyway.
Yeah, you can see some links on the break screen, which does have my YouTube, which I'm very upset at.
Yeah, it does have. I think it maybe has more dislikes than likes now on some of those videos.
No, probably not.
I don't know why. People apparently hate your content.
They like some of it. They like the perfectly normal solo queue gaming.
Yeah. Well, not anything else like the expert plays and a master stroke and 80 carries.
People like Tigers. 6 likes, no dislikes at all. And to be honest, we should probably stop wasting everyone's time talking about our YouTubes and the lack of people.
Yes.
But,
so anyway,
we'll see you later, I expect.
Yes. So we will see you in like 15 minutes or so.